Hey friends, it's Miss Morris again. I'm going to help you with your journal again this week. This week we're going to be talking about comparing and ordering numbers. We're just going to be looking at whole numbers this week. So what you're going to need is 2 pages, just like last week, your compare and order kind of title page. And then you also need this one here. That's more our notes page. Okay, and just like last week, we're going to fold them together and we are going to put them in your journal. You're going to need a glue stick, something to write with, and your journal. Okay, so we're going to start with this page here. So I'm going to move my other page over to the side. Okay, and we're talking about comparing and ordering numbers. Okay, and when you turn this, it says symbols used to compare numbers. So you can see our symbols here, and the direction that these symbols go matters when you're talking about numbers. It matters when you're comparing them, and it matters if you're just discussing a number by itself and you're talking about any number that's greater than or any number that's less than. You want it to be going in a certain direction. So this symbol here represents less than. So I want you to write less than. Okay? So when that alligator mouth is going this direction, it means less than. Okay? Obviously, this is equal to. That should not be new for you. Actually, none of these should be. Okay, and this last one here is our greater than symbol. Okay, so this here where it has G to L, L to G, this will be very helpful with your target math because that's how they will be labeled to indicate how they want you to order the numbers. So G to L means greatest to least. G to L. So we're going to write over here greatest to least. Okay, which should tell you what this next one means. L to G is going to be least to greatest. Okay. All right, so I'm going to move this one over to the side. I'm going to get my next page. Okay. And you can see at the top, they have this pretty little number line, right? And so we're not going to put anything on this particular number line, but we're going to take some notes down here. So L to G is our least to greatest, and this is saying moves from right to left on the number line. So here's the right side of the number line, and L to G tells me I'm moving from the right to the left. I'm getting smaller. Okay, so we're going to write moves from right to left on the number line. Okay. So then over here, our G to L, our greatest to least, is indicating that we're starting on the left of our number line and we're moving to the right because this direction, our numbers are going to get larger. So we're going to write moves from left to right on the number line. Okay, coming back over here, it says place numbers on the open number line and compare L to G. So I'm going to read that again. place numbers on the open number line and compare least to greatest. Okay, so here we have 28,456. Here we have 23,768. Here we have 26,583. And here we have 28,519. But look what it says below this list. To the nearest thousands. They want us to estimate these numbers to the nearest thousand. So above each number, we're going to do that. So if I'm looking at the thousands place, okay, if I'm looking next door, that 4 tells me I'm going to stay the same. So this is about 28,000. Okay, because I'm looking at the thousands place. Here, if I look at my thousands place, I have a 3, but next door is a 7. That 7 tells me I'm going to go up. I'm closer on the number line to the next 1,000. So this would estimate to 24,000. Okay. Next, right? I'm looking at my thousands place, and when I look next door, that 5 tells me I'm going to go up. I'm closer on the number line to the next 1,000. So this is going to estimate to 27,000. Okay. For the next one, when I look at my thousands place and I look next door, there's a 5. That 5 tells me I'm closer to the next 1,000 than where I'm at right now. So I'm going to estimate this one at 29,000. So they're wanting us to take this estimation and place it on the number line. So my number line, these numbers all fall between 20,000 and 30,000. Okay? So next, on this number line, I need to find my halfway point. Where is halfway between 20,000 and 30,000? Okay? So I'm going to put that about right here, which would be 25,000. Okay, so looking at our estimation up here, is there anything that's less than halfway? Yes, it's our 24,000, but 24,000 is pretty close to 25,000. So I'm going to put B right here, and I'm going to label that Now I'm going to look for the next digits, or next numbers. I have 27,000, I have 28, and 29,000. I can just put those in that order. Okay, so I'm going to put 27,000. If I know this is 25,000, and if you need to see that, write it on there. Okay, 27,000, this would be maybe 26, so I'm going to move right here. Okay, and that's C, so I'm going to label that C. 28,000 is pretty close to 27,000. So I'm going to put A right here. And then 29,000 is going to be real close to 30. So this was just kind of getting us about where does this fall on the number line. Okay? It helped us to kind of predetermine the order if I'm going from least to greatest. Okay? When you're doing this, I highly recommend looking at every digit starting in the right, or starting on the left actually, and moving toward the right, because sometimes you're going to have numbers like this one and this one, right? 28,000, 28,000. But then when I move here, I can see that the 5 in this hundreds place is greater than the 4 in this hundreds place, so that tells me this is greater. This was just a way to help me kind of predetermine an order that we could put it in and on your number line. So now What we're going to do is look at each of these and we're going to put them in order from least to greatest. Well, based on my number line, I know B needs to go first. So I'm going to write 23,768 in my first spot. And I know that 23,768 is less than, C comes next, looking here, 26,583. Okay, and I know that 26,583 is less than, A comes next, 28,456. And finally, I know that 28,456 is less than 28,519. Okay, so on the next one, they want us to estimate again before we put them in order from least to greatest. This time they want us to estimate to our hundredths place. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to underline my hundredths place on each one of those numbers. Okay, and starting with A, I can see that I have a 5, and when I look next door, this 5 tells me I'm going to estimate up. So this is going to estimate to 6,600. Okay, when I look at this one, I have a 3 in the hundredths place, and when I look next door, this 4 tells me let it rest. I'm going to leave it the same, so it's going to estimate to 6,300. Okay, here I have a 5 in my hundredths place, but when I look next door, I have a 3. That 3 tells me let it rest. It's going to stay the same, so 6,500. Okay, and last one, I have a 4 in my hundredths place. When I look next door, this 2 tells me let it rest. So it's also going to stay a 4 to estimate to 6,400. Okay, so now all of these numbers fall between, let's really fine tune it here. I'm going to start with 6,300. I'm going to put 6,400 right here. I'm going to put 6,500 right here. And I'm going to put 6,600 here. And if you like to have one at the very end, you can put 6,700 there. Okay, so let's place the letter to mark each of these where they should go. Okay, so I can see I estimated this to 6,300. This is a tiny bit more than that, so I'm going to put it just on the other side and label that B. Okay, this one I estimated to 6,400, 6,400. It's a tiny bit more than that, so I'm going to put it real close. And I'm going to label that D. Okay, I estimated this C to 6,500. It's a tiny bit more, so I'm going to put it right here and label that C. Okay, and finally I labeled A. I estimated it to 6,600. It's a little bit less than that, so I'm going to put it on this side this time. I'm going to label that A. Okay, now up here, we are going to put this in order from least to greatest. Okay, and I can see that I started with B down here, so I'm going to write 6,347. I can see that D came next, so I'm going to write 6,429. When I come back to my number line, I can see I have C next, 6,531. And I can see that I have A last, which is 6,553. All right, thanks for staying with me. We're almost done. We're going to come over here and do a little comparison. So on our comparison, comparison, it says we're going to compare and order by stacking. This is my favorite way to do this. I love number lines, but for this, I find this more on a 4th and 5th grade level. So I like the stacking. So it goes through the steps for us. It gives us 4 numbers here. And it says step 1 is stack by place value. Okay? So when it says to stack by place value, it kind of means to draw a place value chart. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to write this first number down. I'm going to write 93,786. Okay, and then I'm going to draw some lines like this to kind of make my place value chart. And if you want to spread your numbers out just a little more than that, that's cool with me. Okay, as long as it's readable. The purpose of this is for you to have notes to help you with your work. Okay, I'm going to draw a line under this, and I'm going to write the next number, 90,542. I'm going to write the next one, draw a line. Okay. And I'm going to write 93,867, draw a line. Okay, and then I'm going to write 91,450. Okay, I got all 4 of my numbers. I already completed step 1. I stacked, and I added my grid, step 2. I kind of like to do the grid as you go, so kind of combining that step 1 and step 2. Now, it says from the left, I'm on step 3 here, from the left, circle the column where the numbers are different. So let's start on the left. I have 9, 9, 9, 9, okay? So I'm going to move to the right, and I'm going to look at this column. I have a 3, 0, 3, 1, okay? So here is where I need the circle. That's kind of hard to see with the ink. I'm going to use a different color so you can see that circle a little better, okay? So, based on circling that, now I'm going to determine which of these is my greatest. No, least. I'm so sorry. I'm going least to greatest here. Okay, well, I can see I have a 3, a 0, a 3, and a 1. Well, I know that 0 is the lowest of those numbers, right? So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to write it first down here. 90,542 is my lowest. I like to give it a little check mark when I'm done. Okay, I've got it down here now. So now I need to find the next lowest, the one that should come in the next order. So I don't need the 0 anymore, right? So I have 3, 3, and 1. Well, I know 1 is less than 3, so next I'm going to write 91,450. Give it a little check. Okay. Okay, so here's where it can get a little tricky. I have a 3 and a 3 left. So I need to move to my next place value, just on these 2 numbers. So I have a 7 and I have an 8. Well, I know 7 is less than 8. So this one's going to go next, 93,786. And my greatest number is 93,867. Okay. When you are done, I'm going to show you how to fold this. Okay, let's fold. So you need your glue stick, okay? You need your pages. So it's going to be like this, right? Normal, like we just wrote on it. Flip it right over. Okay, boom, boom. Take this one, and it needs to go, now I'm already like forgotten. Okay, like this, all right? So if the word symbols is up here and you bend this back, your paper is the correct up and down, okay? Remember my little tip from last week. Glue stick glue is made to stick to itself, not to paper. So both of your sheets need some glue. Okay. So boom, 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 boom. Yes? Okay. All right, so with my paper laying like this, let me get it back on the glue. Okay. With my paper laying like this, I'm going to take this top corner right here. I'm going to get it in my fingers. Now watch where I fold it to. I'm going to use the bottom of this triangle over here as my guide. Okay, I'm going to bring this corner, look at this very tip, to the edge of the paper. So this edge here is going to lay just under that triangle. Okay, so I'm going to crease it and I'll give you some little booms. Okay, here's my triangle, here's a triangle, right? Boom, 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 boom. Yes? Okay. So here's what my paper looks like right now. Okay, so now I'm going to take this corner down here, all right, and I'm going to use this triangle as my guide this time, okay, and this edge is going to line up with that triangle, okay, and this corner is going to line up with this corner. It's kind of a fancy little fold this week. Okay. And then I'm going to crease it and look at this coolness. All right. So look, ready for some booms? Boom, 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 boom. All right. This needs to be glued in your notebook. So Ms. Rodriguez will tell you what page she wants it on. In mine, I'm just going to put it after last week. So here's last week. These are some thick pages. I'm not a front and back kind of gal in my notebook. I like to do one page for each thing. But if you're a front and back kind of person and your teacher is, cool. Okay, so this is going to go here. Okay. On the back, I'm going to give it some glue. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to kind of see, because glue sticks to glue stick glue. All right. And I'm going to put it in there like this. Like boom, boom, boom. All these beautiful notes. Bye, guys.